Hello, my sexy superstars. Welcome back to another episode of It Takes Intention. Welcome to my channel if you're watching here on YouTube. So excited to jump into today's episode. It's actually 5:30 in the morning. I just watched the sunrise. If you're watching on YouTube, I will put up the photo of what it looked like just before. It was absolutely stunning. So the vibes are high. I wanted to record this episode before I go to the gym. I've also got to go to the airport this morning. Actually, let me reframe my words. I've been really trying to recently catch myself whenever I say I have to go do something. I'm like, no, you get to go do something. I get to go take my grandparents to the airport this morning, which I am so sad to be saying goodbye to them, but it has been such a nice time having them here over in Australia and being able to spend time with them. So I'm sad to see them go, but to be honest, I am going to see them pretty soon when I go back to NZ. Dates are yet to be decided, but when I go back to NZ, I'll obviously see them there. So anyways, that is my morning. I wanted to record this episode though before I go and do that. Today we are going to be talking all about going from self-doubt to success and how you hold the pen and you can rewrite your business story at any point in time. So we are going to jump straight into it. I do have a couple notes to keep me on track because I have been noticing my podcast episodes have been going a little bit longer than I probably would like. And I mean, I don't know, if you guys like that, let me know, but I do feel like I want to keep to, maybe under 20 minutes for some of them. So anyways, welcome. I hope you enjoy today's episode. And just a quick side note before we jump into it, my calendar for the week is officially open. So I'm going to leave the link down below. If you are a business owner and you are wanting to grow in 2025, you're like, okay, I'm listening to all the podcasts, I'm reading all the books, but I'm still not seeing the results I desire. And you're ready to actually take all the knowledge that you're learning, times it by 100 and actually do the advanced implementation work, then Glow by Tish coaching is for you. I'm going to leave the link in the description box to book a consult call. I also have freedom and fulfillment, which you guys know I yappa on about all the time. Freedom and Fulfillment is my self-paced course. So if you're wanting to learn in more of a self-paced educational style way, Freedom and Fulfillment is definitely for you. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Otherwise, book a consult call if you're wanting more direct support, if you're wanting my eyes on your business, on your mindset, so I can really help you go to the freaking moon and beyond. The link is in the description box to book a consult call. We're going to jump on. We're going to discuss all about where you currently are, where you want to be, what's stopping you from getting there, and what service would best suit you, your business, and your goals. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode. Now, I know you probably already know this, but I want to say it again. What if I told you that everything you're currently believing about your limitations aren't actually true, and at any point in time, you can rewrite your story? Now, this is something myself, my clients, I swear every single human on the planet is guilty of, where we use our past failures as proof and evidence as to why we can't actually achieve the success that we desire. Now, what happens is when we are using our past failures and things that happened literally in the past to determine our next steps going into the future, we are always living in the past and we're always living in that old version of ourselves. And this is super important to actually recognize that as you're leveling up in life and when you are on this train of like self-development, self-improvement, growing your business, you are constantly becoming a new version of yourself, because the version of you who is achieving 10K per month in her business, and then the version of you who is achieving 30K, 50K, 100K, whatever it may be, each level that you're getting to is a new version of you. And this is where I see people go wrong, where they make themselves in that current present moment wrong for not being where it is that they want to be, when we actually have to realize, are you actually the person who is a match for what it is that you are trying to achieve, like the success that you're trying to achieve? So if you're currently making like $3,000 per month and you're beating yourself up because you're not making 10K, you're not making 20K, you're not making whatever it is that you're wanting to be making, if you're not making that in your business and making yourself wrong for that, or quite literally blocking yourself from that success. Because what we need to realize is, if your life is a mirror, your business results and your life is a mirror to how you are internally. Bottom line, period. It doesn't matter what area of life we're talking about. Your results are a direct reflection of your belief system, of your habits, of your actions. They are a reflection. So if you're currently making 3K to 4K per month, instead of beating yourself up and actually doubting your ability to make that success, instead of that, we want to reframe it to actually, okay, the beliefs that I currently have, the actions that I'm currently taking, the investments that I'm making right now are keeping me at 3 to 4K per month. If I want to get to 10K, what is required of me? What new beliefs do I have to adopt? What old beliefs do I have to shed? Because as you're leveling up, like I was saying, you are becoming a new person, but you're also having to shed off that old identity. And that is extremely difficult to do. That is extremely uncomfortable to go through. And we're going to get to that in a moment, but you have to shed off your old identity to become the new version of you. And obviously I'm speaking to this more towards like the money you're making in your business, but it's the exact same with your social media, right? If you are beating yourself up because you're not gaining more followers, you're not having more people interested in your stories, whatever it may be, it's like, okay, instead of beating yourself up about that, can we actually take a step back and realize the action that you're currently taking, maybe the consistency you're posting, quality in which you're posting, the type of content in which you're posting, all of those are factors behind the results of your social media, right? And so I really want you to, instead of turning to self-doubt of like, oh, this just isn't possible for me, oh, I just can't do it, to actually recognize you can. You are so capable, because bottom line, if you have the desire on your heart, if you know you're meant for it, like deep down you're like, yep, I know I'm meant to be a successful business owner, whatever dreams and goals you have, if that's on your heart and it's like a burning flame in your heart, that is because you're meant for it. Like, I swear to you, I promise you, you are meant for it. And so instead of doubting yourself, actually taking a step back and being like, where can I rise up? Where can I elevate? Where can I actually develop my skill set in these different areas? Like, for example, if it's social media, okay, how can I learn, post better content that's going to actually convert my customers? And all of a sudden, instead of playing victim to it, you're actually able to step into your power and take the power back and actually make a change. And actually, like I said, rewrite the story, because the pen is in your hands. And so the only reason why we don't actually feel like it is possible for us and we're doubting, self-doubting our success, is because we have all of this evidence of past failures, right? Maybe let's use the example of every single year, January 1st, you're like, this is my freaking year. Like, I've got this. I am going to glow up my entire business, my entire mindset, my entire life, and I'm going to achieve all of my dreams. If you're going into the year with that energy, but then come March, you're like, the goals are out the window. You don't even remember the goals. You're still stuck in the same cycles with your business. You're not posting consistent, high quality, converting content on Instagram. You're not working on your business. Like, you know that whole saying of, oh, I'm just going to work on growing my business in the weekend. And instead of working on growing it every single day intentionally mapping out your days. And this is something it's so important that I do this with my clients, and actually had a new one-to-one client start. I think it was last week, or maybe, it was the week before. In our first week, I said, okay, I'm going to give you the structure of how to actually plan your day so that you move the needle every single day in your business. And I swear to you, she is plugging in every single day to our Telegram chat. And she's like, I've done this, I've done that. What do you think about this? Like, she is so actively involved in growing her business because I have given her the structure of how to plan her day so that she actually does move the needle forward. Because the reason why you're stuck is you're focused on being busy but not actually productive. So anyways, if you're stuck in that cycle and come March, you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't even made any movements towards my goals and towards my dreams. Then come June, you've forgotten about it again. And then December, obviously the cycle repeats. And I know you know what I am talking about and how frustrating that is. And all those years that you have done that to yourself, and all those, not even years, but like months, weeks, like how many times do you say, next week I'm locking in, next week I'm going to actually start posting consistently on social media, come Monday I'm going to actually stick to the plan, I'm actually going to show up, I'm actually going to work on my mindset, I'm going to do the shadow work. How many times do you actually say that? Then when the time comes, you've got another excuse and you push it off until that next Monday or that next day. That is the cycle that you're currently in, that we need to break you out of. And now the problem with this is because you have all of this evidence, because you have all of this proof, not actually sticking to your word, not actually doing what it is that you need to do, the lack of confidence that you feel within, when it comes to actually succeeding in your business, you doubt yourself. And for example, if I'm sitting here telling you that the roadmap to success, to the business success that you desire is inside freedom and fulfillment or working with me directly, it's like there's this part of you that wants it because you know deep down you're meant for it, you know deep down you're capable of it, but every part of your body stops you from actually taking action because you are in so much self-doubt of like, am I actually going to make it happen? Am I actually going to be able to achieve it, because of all the evidence that you have built up time and time and time again of you not being able to do it. But this is where I'm here to tell you and give you the little pep talk you need, that you are absolutely capable of it and you can actually achieve it. You're holding the pen in your hand. You can rewrite the story at any point in time. Those past failures are in the past. Keep them in the past. They are just chapters of your life. They are not the whole book. You get to write the next chapter every day. Every freaking day, not even every day, every minute, every second you get is a new chance to write the story that you actually want, and give yourself permission to actually make it the story you want, not what other people are doing, not what your parents think you should be doing, not what your friends think you should be doing, not what other people are saying for you to do. What do you want? You get to write the chapter. You get to write the story. Pen is in your hand. Now, all of a sudden, when you've made that mindset shift, you then move into this discomfort state, right? Of dysregulation, of, oh my gosh, I'm now out here literally writing my own story. And this is something that I navigate a lot as I get to new levels and new levels and new levels. Every level is a new sense of dysregulation and discomfort because I've never been there before, because my body is not used to literally what it is that I have now achieved, right? And so there's always this like gap period of like when you jump from like where you currently are, you jump to like who you're wanting to be, but there's this almost like period in between where you're flying till you land into where it is that you want to be going. And if you're on YouTube, you'll see what I mean, but if you're in podcasts, hopefully you could understand what I was trying to say. But you jump basically in that period in between of you jumping, very uncomfortable, and it's very easy to see in that moment, because it feels uncomfortable, that it's not meant for you, that it's you're doing something wrong, that actually, oh no, this feels very unsafe, this feels very icky. And the reason why I even thought of this whole like kind of podcast topic this morning was I was doing my journaling just literally like an hour ago. And I was sitting out there, and as I went to sit down on the seat, my glutes were so freaking sore. And it was because I had done the best workout yesterday in the gym. And for me, and I know there's some controversial opinions on this, like in the fitness industry, but for me, I know that when I wake up sore from a workout, it was a banger of a workout. And I just feel like the muscle, I can literally feel the muscle repairing itself and rebuilding stronger, right? And so when I sat down, I was like, oh, that's a good feeling. Like, I love that. And I remember saving this like post on Pinterest one time, and it was like, sore is the new sexy, or like, yeah, sore is the next new sexy, or something like that. And it's like, how can we relate, that in fitness, and that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sore, but you know that it's your muscles rebuilding, repairing, and you know it's getting you closer to your goals, right? How can we take that same concept and apply it into your business as well, where when you jump, you do the action, you take the leap, you invest in freedom and fulfillment, you invest in coaching with me, you take the leap, you jump, right? And then there's this period of like, oh God, like I'm now extremely out of my comfort zone. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And you freak out, right? Instead of that, can we actually look at, like the gym example, as that discomfort is a sign that it's working? And actually, can we express joy and gratitude for it? Because like, oh my gosh, how exciting and how incredible is the gift of discomfort? Because when we are uncomfortable, it means we're getting closer to because it means that we're stretching ourselves, that we're growing, we're evolving, and obviously getting closer to becoming the person that we want to become. And I swear I know the feeling. Like, I'm not just sitting here being like, la 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 la, speaking on this topic. Like, I know that feeling all too well because I feel it every freaking time I go to a new level. And like, that's something I want to normalize, where everyone feels this as you're leveling up. It does not matter what level of success you're at. It's still a stretch. It's still uncomfortable. You still have to push yourself despite what level you're on. And so just know it is normal. That feeling, that stretch feeling, is normal, and it's what's required of you to get to where you want to go. But can we actually look at that stretch with gratitude and actually be like, thank you for sending me this discomfort. Thank you for putting me through this discomfort, because I know it's what's going to get me to what I want. And I've said this example probably so many times in these episodes, but when I made my very first investment, so I invested in a program, that was my first ever investment that I made in my business and in myself. The discomfort I felt beforehand, I was like sitting there like, do I do it? Do I not? And I remember every day, like I would be going on her website and being like, oh, do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it? Like I literally was sitting there like, oh God, I don't know. And then I would literally let the self-doubt and all my past failures of like, oh, but you didn't do this, and oh, but you don't show up this way. And when you say you're going to do this, you don't actually do that. And what if you invest in this and then you don't actually show up and it's a waste of money, and blah, 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 blah. I used to go there every day. I was about, like, my finger would be on the button to purchase, but I would talk myself out of it, and I would let the self-doubt literally paralyze me and pull me back into my comfort zone. And obviously when I'd go back in my comfort zone, I'd feel like, oh, okay, I can breathe. And then I would be thinking about it and thinking about it again and being like, oh no, I know I need this. I know this is the next step. I know I need to do it. But I like couldn't actually do it until one night I decided, no, I'm going to do this, because I finally just had the realization that every single day that goes by where I'm not intentionally investing and growing myself and my business is another day where I'm not living up to my full potential. And to me, I could not handle the concept of not living my life to its fullest potential, especially after my accident. And I've talked about this in the past. When I got my second chance at life, when I opened my eyes and I realized I wasn't dead and I actually had another chance, I subconsciously just made this commitment to myself that is how fast life can go. Genuinely, your life could be snatched in a single second. Oh God, I don't even want to cry, but I've been there. Like, I've literally been on my deathbed and almost had my life snatched away from me. When I woke up, when I opened my eyes and I was paralyzed, I couldn't feel my legs. Do you know the feeling that washes over you of like, holy shit, like what just happened? And it's like within 2 seconds, your whole life will change. Your whole life can change within 2 seconds. And that was the moment I just knew that, like, okay, I'm here, I'm alive, I am going to make the most out of every single second of my life. And that's why I wake up at 4 a.m, work so much intentionally. The reason why I do that is because I know that I could have it all taken away from me in a split second. So why the hell am I wasting a single minute of my day not becoming the best version of myself, not living my life to its fullest potential? You get one life, that's it. Why are you not living it to its full potential? Oh, I feel like I need to end the podcast on that note. But no, so oh my gosh, and I just looked down and it's 555. Anyways, from that moment onwards, I have always tried to live my life that way. And so when I invested in the program, yes, it was the biggest stretch I've ever made financially. It didn't make any sense. I didn't know anyone. Like, honestly, back then, I don't feel like investing in your business and investing in yourself was as talked about as it is now. And so back then I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't tell a soul. I remember telling my best friend, and that was it. And I was like, girl, I have just invested $3,000 into a program. And back then, yeah, it wasn't as common. Now it's obviously very common. It's almost like a no-brainer of like, you want to grow your business, you've got to invest in the knowledge to be able to do so. But back then I didn't know anyone who was really doing that other than what I was seeing on social media. So for me to take that leap was a huge, huge step. And like I said, I jumped and there was that gap in between of like pure discomfort. But when I landed, it made every ounce of that discomfort, that pain worth it. And like I was saying with the gym example, when you actually get the muscle definition, the tone, you lose the weight, all the things, all of a sudden, everything you went through becomes so worth it, right? And that's why I enjoy feeling so sore after a workout, because I know that the rewards are coming. It's like a sign to me that keep going, the rewards are there. You did the work, the rewards are coming. Now you just have to hold yourself in this discomfort as they repair, as they move. And like I'm, using this in a business example, as things shift into place, you just have to hold that discomfort, knowing that the results are coming. And this is the importance in rewiring your subconscious mind and actually looking at your limiting beliefs as well. Because if you have a limiting belief, that uncertainty and the fear of the unknown essentially equals you doing something wrong, you're going to keep repeating these same cycles. And just a side note to that, you'll get my limiting belief clearing formula, which literally works wonders. My clients rave about it. I love it. I use it all the time. It's inside Freedom and Fulfillment, and you also get access to Freedom and Fulfillment when you work with me directly as well. And naturally we know this, but our brain is wired for safety, is for comfort. We love comfort. And I remember thinking about this quote the other day where it's like, we would rather live in a familiar hell than an unfamiliar heaven. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. There is this heaven literally on earth waiting for you to just take the leap, to just actually do the thing. However, you're so caught up in this familiar hell, this cycle that you are in, day out. And as I'm speaking about this, it's coming to your mind that there is that cycle that you're living in, repeating again and again. And it's like, what takes breaking that is you rewriting the story. Taking the pen. You don't even need to take the pen. You're already holding the pen. Here's another analogy. Currently, your past is writing the future, right? We are going to take the pen from the past, put it in your hand, and rewrite your business success in the future. Because you are in control. You are the co-creator. You do have the power to do that. But it requires going through that discomfort and actually backing yourself enough. Yes, you have all this past evidence of it not working out in the past. However, that does not dictate the future. If you had a really bad relationship in high school, it's like saying that, I've just had this one really bad relationship. Now every single relationship for the rest of my life is going to suck. It's going to be so bad. It's like that doesn't even make sense, right? Just because you had one bad experience doesn't mean your future husband is going to treat you that same way. So we've got to break that cycle of living in the past and actually leap into your future, the future that you desire. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap things up here. I really hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you want to join Freedom and Fulfillment, by Tish Coaching, work with me directly. The link is in the description box or the show notes if you're listening on Spotify. I also have a free BOSS B TCH Bootcamp as well, which I will link down below if you want to join that. Otherwise, I would greatly appreciate it if you could share this with a friend, share it on your Instagram stories, tag It Takes Intention, make sure you're following the pod. You could give me a rating on the homepage. It would really help me out. Subscribe if you're here on YouTube. Otherwise, all the links to my social medias, working with me, everything is going to be in the show notes, in the description. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I will be back in your ears very soon. Mwah!